For better.
For better.
For worse.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Bria made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
Yeah, simply put, just want to impart a little bit of wisdom on you guys today. Yoda, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comments in the comment section below. Your comments would be greatly appreciated. Today, I want to talk about why men don't want to get married. And this is kind of a popular topic. So I just kind of wanted to, give my take, my simple take on things. Throughout time, it's always been the case where women want to be in relationships. They want to have boyfriends. They want to be in relationships. They want to have a consistent male to take care of them. So women obviously see a benefit in getting married. But nowadays things have kind of changed. Men are more and more gravitating away from getting married because it just seems that there are more disadvantages in the process of getting married, having to deal with, the laws and having to deal with, all the things that come with marriage. And a lot of men don't want to say it like this, but men have a fear. Some men have a fear of getting married because of all of the ramifications that can happen within divorce as well. And I will say this, it's more so of the divorce than the marriage. That's why a lot of men don't want to get married.
What's stopping y'all from getting married? Like, y'all already did one of those secret industry weddings? No, there has not been a secret industry marriage. It's a little personal, you know what I mean? But just like, to be real with you, just like any people who have dealt with love, we've had our ups and downs. Marriage symbolizes like the best relationship. People be like, oh, you got to get married. To me, I feel like having a relationship is first and foremost, and like marriage is a byproduct of that. And I feel like a lot of people get the idea of like, oh, you have to get married, but then it's like, to me, that's almost a fear-based way of thinking too, because then people be getting divorced. The divorce rate's so high. I would like to do a lot. I would like to, and I don't like putting our personal business out there like that either, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
You get a lot of modern women who just take for granted men. Like, they already have this kind of hatred for men. And it's kind of funny that you have a lot of women who talk down about men. You have a lot of women who say they don't need men, and they really talk bad about men. But you can still ask those women, they have all this negativity and negative things to say about men. But when you ask them, do they want to get married? For the most part, they want to still get married. And I feel like that's kind of ironic. And on the other side, you have men who see women like this. And if you get into a relationship with a woman who's not appreciative, it kind of makes you not want to work as hard. You don't want to work as hard for that woman because she doesn't have an appreciation of you as a man, and then on top of that, as a husband. It's like they kind of take for granted you being a husband, you being a man.
I understand the frustration of women because what they're saying is there's not a big pool of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
That's not a lie.
Listen.
What?
There's not a lot of good men who want y'all. There's a lot of good men out there like where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rock or in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. There's plenty of good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't. She'll say, this man ain't. He ain't. He was bad. He was bad. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman.
For being there.
What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil.
If you get with a woman and she appreciates you and she cares about you and she wants to have your kid, I don't have a problem with a man getting married to that type of woman, but it's just so hard to find a woman like that these days. It's just kind of hard to find a woman who is appreciative of a man and what he does. A lot of times women, like I said, women just kind of take men for granted, and men kind of see that. They look back and they see, okay, these women are kind of, just taking advantage of some guys, and they don't really appreciate what's done. So the man just says, I'd rather not get married. And a lot of times, as far as your finances, as far as you work and you getting and a man getting married, it does incentivize you to work harder. It incentivizes you to make more money. But at the end of the day, all your money is going towards your family for the most part. Your money is going towards the family, it's going towards the kids. And if you make a lot of money and you're married, a lot of times, like I said, women they don't think about the finances like that. And especially if you make a lot of money, they just feel like they just gonna spend the money up. They're gonna get things for the kids. It's gonna be extra things for the kids. It's gonna be extra, I want a bigger house, I want a better car, I want this. So it really doesn't matter how hard he works or how much money he makes. If a woman's in the situations where she's married, she's gonna spend up all the money anyway. The money's really not gonna go to the guy, and a lot of men kind of see that, and they'll say, "Well, I'm not gonna get married. I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna keep my money. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna travel." That's what men are kind of thinking. That's how men are kind of thinking nowadays. They're not really like focused on getting married, especially if you can kind of get women and you can have some kind of companionship. You can have some kind of woman, you can kind of go out. You can have women coming and going. A lot of times men would say it's not really worth getting married.
Not desirable right now. Everyone's a Kim Kardashian clone. I asked you earlier, what don't men want? And you said promiscuity. Well, that seems about the only thing that's being offered right now. When I open my Instagram and I've got butt cheeks and I'm going, people are like, I don't understand why no one wants to marry. This woman's been married 4 times. I'm like, well, I can understand it, because even if men think they want it in the short term, when you see a girl, she's half naked, she looks good. Yeah, sure, you probably do want to have sex with her. I bet you're wired that way. You're hardwired that way. Yeah. But then what happens after you have sex with her and you realize that so did 20 other dudes 100%. In the same week, you don't want her.
Another thing which kind of deters men from wanting to get married is basically the treatment within the marriage. A lot of times women will kind of do, I'm not saying being fake, but what they'll do is they will put on a act like they are submissive. They act like they're submissive to you. They're down for you. They'll do things while you're dating. They'll look out for you while you're dating, while y'all going out. They'll be submissive to you. They'll be kind to you. They'll have good things. They'll be helpful to you while you're dating. And let's just be real. While you're dating and you're in just a regular relationship, women will sleep with you more. Like it'll be anytime you want it, because they want to get married. So once a man gets married to a woman, men have kind of this, we have this kind of fear of the woman is going to change up. They're going to kind of get comfortable. It's like, okay, we married now. I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to keep up this and that. I don't have to keep up my body. I don't have to listen to that man. I don't have to be submissive to that man, because she knows in the West, most men don't want to get divorced. So it's kind of like a thing kind of held over a man's head. He doesn't want to, have to deal with the court system and the law. He doesn't want to have to deal with that. So a lot of times, if a woman is submissive at first while she's your girlfriend, once she gets married to you, she knows she kind of has the upper hand, and a lot of women kind of take advantage of that.
Things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult, because then they get used to that shit. So, no.
I had a friend who's married. He's married, and he basically was like, when we first started dating, I would ask her to do stuff, and she had no problem doing. She was very helpful. She was very cooperative with me. She looked out for me, and he was kind of making a joke about it. But he was like, man, I asked her to do something there. It's like she don't want to do anything. It's like you do it yourself. You get up and do it yourself. And he was like, I can't even get her to do anything now. And a lot of married men, they kind of make light of it. They make jokes of it. But that's just kind of a sign that she feels like, okay, we married. You're not going to go nowhere. If you do go somewhere, I can divorce you. I can take your money. I can do X, Y, and Z. And you just have to put up with me how it is. We also see a lot of women who gain weight. They don't take care of themselves. They don't take care of their bodies. They get big. They get obese. And they feel like the man can't say anything. He can't do anything. She just can get big. She just can be, just kind of get out of hand. Men are kind of afraid of women kind of being in that comfort zone, like getting in that comfort zone to where they don't have to listen. Another thing that men, reason why men don't want to get married is because it's a lot of, and I'm gonna say it like this, it's a lot of mental abuse when it comes to men. It's a lot of stuff that men really don't talk about, and it's a lot of things that kind of are swept under the table, and it's a lot of stuff that people do. I see a lot of like skits and stuff. You'll see kind of like these skits where the wife is kind of talking crazy to the husband. She kind of fussing at him, kind of arguing with him like he's a child. She's kind of talking down to him, berating him, making him, feel like a child.
Oh! I just got back home. Got nigga nervous.
Why are you so scared?
I just got back home.
And what you out here doing?
Nothing, I was just on Instagram.
And it's a lot of women out here. It's a lot of skits out like that, but it's a lot of women who do that in a marriage. And as a single person, I really don't see it as funny, because I've seen women like pretty much talk down to their husbands because they know, the husband, he's kind of y'all in a relationship, y'all been together, y'all been married, and the woman, what she'll do, she'll slowly start, saying little stuff here and there, and then it'll kind of get out of hand to where she's like totally disrespectful to him. Like over time, it's like slowly gets to be disrespectful to the husband.
We're driving to the restaurant. We always have the same fight. What do you want to eat? I don't care. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? I don't care. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? I don't care. What do you want to eat? Will you just make a decision? Okay, we'll have Italian. I hate Italian. Just want a large cup of whiskey. That's all. We get to the restaurant. We're looking at the menus. The waiter comes up, asks us what we want. What do you like? Hey, honey, what do you want? You know what I want? I want you to want to know what I want. We're gonna need a couple more minutes. It gets worse. The guy comes back for a drink order. I say, yeah, I'll take a cherry Coke. Honey, you want a cherry Coke? You don't even know who I am, do you? I don't like cherries, and I don't like Coke, and I for sure don't like cherry Coke. What, does your girlfriend like cherry Coke? No, she likes Pepsi.
If you've ever been around like older women who are married, and sometimes women kind of take stuff too far to where they try to insult their husband, try to, downrate him, berate him, kind of rake him over the coals in front of everybody, try to kind of shame him or emasculate him in front of everybody. And to me, as a single man, that's kind of a deterrent for getting married, because I'm kind of big on respect. Like I said, I understand joking. Like if we're together, it's just me and you, we can joke. But like in public, I wouldn't talk down about my wife. I wouldn't talk down about my wife and disrespect her in front of a lot of people. But a lot of times women would do that. They'll do it and they'll try to make light of it. They'll try to make jokes about it, and they'll disrespect the man in front of like everybody. And they feel like a man, and it's like if he take it, it's like it just keeps getting worse, and it turns into like total disrespect. A lot of times these women, they put out these skits, and they'll put them out like the woman will be fussing at the guy, or it'll be something like the man will be at the house and the woman is coming home, and the man will be like he's scared, like he's scared she's gonna come home. He'll get up and he'll clean up the house, and he'll be running around the house because he's scared of his wife, like a man's supposed to be scared of their wife or something.
Whenever I get home, I expect for dinner to be ready, okay, laundry to be made, and the kids put to sleep. And that's what Jake told his wife. Can you believe that? And that's why they're getting a divorce. Oof.
A lot of times women, they talk about this stuff, or they do these skits, and it's like the man is supposed to be afraid of his wife. Like, what's the point of being married to somebody and you're afraid of them? Like, you're afraid when they come home, you're afraid they're gonna fuss at you, you're afraid they're gonna berate you. Like to me, it's just a disrespectful thing that kind of deters men from wanting to be married. Dealing with someone who doesn't show you any respect. Like, they get comfortable with you, and they feel like they can disrespect you because they can.
I think you're a little self-involved. I think the same thing you're doing with the dog, you're doing with him. You got your money, you will spend it your way, but when it comes to his money, he can't use any money to go to the gas station. That you're looking in his social media. That was a dumb conversation. It didn't pretend to anything. I think you're telling him what to do. I think you're being a bit of a bully, and he's sick of it. He's sick of it. He doesn't feel like he has a wife. I think he feels like he has this agitated dude in his house that goes and does what she wants to do when she wants to do it, and won't let him do anything at all. And I think if you want somebody, you got to show them that you want them. You got to show them that you love them. You can't just say, hey, it's my money, I'll gamble when I want to, but you can't go anywhere in the car. It just doesn't make any sense. I think he feels bullied. Are you hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
If you want someone to love you, you have to do things that make you lovable. And you're very stuck on what you want and don't think a whole lot about what he wants and needs. Love unexpressed is meaningless. It feels good to you, but it doesn't do a thing for him. Do you see, you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
One of the main reasons that men don't want to get married is basically because of divorce. I say some men want to get married, but most men don't want to get a divorce. Like most men don't want to be divorced. And I did a video kind of earlier about, and I kind of got a little bit of backlash in my comments because the video basically said that men take marriage more serious than women. That was the title of the video. And I basically said that because a lot of times when women get married, they basically have kind of an out. They have an out, which is divorce. Divorce is their out. For the most part, if they get a divorce, they know they can get, half of your money. They know they can get child support. For the most part, they can get, half of your assets, half of the house. They can get the cars. They pretty much can come out, unscathed. Men, on the other hand, if they get into a marriage and they get a divorce, they're going to lose most of their stuff. They're going to lose their kids. They're going to lose their house. If they have multiple properties, they're going to lose half that. If they have money, they're going to lose half their money if they've been together a certain time. But women think of marriage differently. Women think of marriage as okay, well, let's just get married and just see how it goes, because she has an out. She has an out, especially if you don't have a prenuptial agreement.
If your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce, you're not a bad person. So don't let guilt get the best of you.
You're not doing him any favors by staying. If anything, you're actually gonna start building up resentment. Your relationship doesn't have to be toxic to validate your feelings of wanting to leave. Think of it this way. If he's a good guy, he deserves to be happy. That means he deserves to be with somebody who values him and wants him just the way he is. If that's not you, you gotta let him go.
He may not see it like this right now, but you're doing both of you a favor.
And another thing, as far as the prenuptial agreement, a lot of modern women, they get upset when men put out the prenuptial agreement and want to protect themselves. They want to protect their assets. You hear a lot of women say, I wouldn't marry a man and if he asked me for a prenup, because it shows that he doesn't trust. But if you really think about it, like your marriage license is a contract. Basically guaranteed, if you get a divorce, you're going to get compensated for the divorce. So when a man asks for a prenup, he's asking for protection for his assets. And women kind of get mad and they basically try to put it out there like, well, you don't trust me, you don't trust. But at the end of the day, when you sign a marriage contract, the marriage contract is basically saying, okay, well, if we get divorced and we don't have a prenup, that woman can pretty much take your assets from you.
There could be a few reasons that I can think of off the top of my head of why a man wouldn't want to marry. One is because a man is scared to marry a person, I'm successful, I have money, I've built a career, and then it doesn't work out. She leaves me, we get divorced, half my money is gone. Two, it could simply be that I'm gonna string her along and I really have no desire to commit to this person long term.
There's consequences to marriage. There's consequences to every choice on earth. That's normal. That's how life works. So if you are a man and you are going to marry a woman, let's say you have a high net worth, let's say she has zero net worth, let's say she's just coming in to raise your kids and provide for the household, you can expect to lose 50% of your assets if you are married long enough.
But and they have you have an automatic protection in just having a marriage license or signing the marriage license. The woman has an automatic protection. But when a guy asks for a prenup, the woman starts talking about trust. And she'll start talking about, well, you just got to trust me. Well, it's so many women. And if you look at the divorce rates, you look at women who just feel a certain way. I just feel a certain way. I just want to get a divorce, and they take it light. They take it lightly, and they just want to get a divorce, and they want the benefits from it. And you hear a lot of women talk about trust, and you just need to trust me, and I wouldn't do you like that. And they try to blindside men, and men are just opening their eyes up, and they're seeing, okay, well, these women out here just getting divorces. These women out here, they say they want to be married. They say they want to be married forever. But once they feel like they're not getting what they want, or you're in a situation to where you feel like you're not happy, not that the man is doing anything wrong. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just living, y'all just kind of living. And she feels like she's not happy. Okay, I can just get a divorce, and I can get half his stuff. I can get child support. I can get alimony. I can get spousal support. But when a man try to protect himself and his assets, women get upset.
What are your fears settling down with one girl and having a family?
Mostly just protection of my assets. I think that's the biggest thing. Once you build up certain assets about yourself in business, to realize that that can be taken away from you really is the biggest con to me. And I don't like the idea of how somebody can be rewarded for waking up one random day on a Tuesday deciding they don't want to be with you anymore. I just don't like that idea. But on the opposite hand, from the woman's perspective, I understand marriage does provide some sort of insurance for me to not do that, because
like, I'm committing to you. I'm going to go through pregnancy probably for you, and you're just going to leave me high and dry.
Yeah, and that's where the woman just has to trust me. No. I trust myself more so than I trust a woman, honestly, even if I've been with her for a very long period of time.
And men understand the laws. Like, men are waking up. We understand the laws. We see how women are taking advantage of the laws. We see how women are taking advantage of child support, spousal support. We see that. That's why men are kind of, okay, well, I'm not sure I want to get married.
Does that make sense for you as far as like why divorce is inherently more risky for men?
I just feel like you're saying because women tend to be the person who initiates a divorce, correct?
Yes.
That's why it's riskier for men, but why do women tend to end divorces? With successful men that have money, they cheat.
She said it earlier.
They do all these things that women don't want to
She
put
said
up
it earlier.
with.
It's
So
a feeling.
why?
Feelings
Yeah.
change from day to day.
Yeah,
time
so
to
I
time.
could have been in love with the person at the moment, but if that person is no longer treating me well just because we're married, I have to say no.
That's the
Because
point.
he can't be a good husband.
So as a man,
That's all I'm asking.
If I marry you and
Yeah.
you decide, you know what, he's not the guy I thought he was anymore, I'm leaving. You take half my stuff, and maybe.
So is there no risk
So?
without reward?
Oh, so what?
You married me, right?
No. So once again, this is why
You
men
wanted to marry me.
don't want to
You
get married.
thought you loved me enough that it would be worth it to you to marry me and
so
take
real
the
quick,
risk.
hold on, stop the show. You just basically admitted it with your own words why guys don't get married.
This is kind of off topic, but the new kind of thing is a lot of men are not getting married. So what's going on is one of the main reasons why women want a guy who makes a lot of money, and you can see it with the athletes, you can see it with the football players, you can see it with the basketball players. The reason why they want to get with guys who have a lot of money, they know that a lot of these NBA players are not getting married. They're not getting married to these women. But what these women are doing now, they're trying to trap them with kids. That's kind of the new thing, and that's kind of the new trend that's going on. If you got money or you an entertainer or you an athlete, you just got some money like that, and a woman sees that you have money, they have no problem with letting you smash them, letting you impregnate them. That's the new thing. It's not so much marriage now. Women still want to get married now. If they can get married, if they can talk you into getting married, they'll do that. They'll talk you into getting married. The next thing is, okay, well, I'll just have a kid with them. I'll have a kid with them. I'll put them on child support. I'll get money like that. And you have women out here who have these. They don't have morals. They're not taught. They're not taught to be wise. Like, women are not taught to be wise. Women are not taught to be submissive and stuff like that. They're not taught to be like that anymore.
What scares me the most about marriage is the fact that men and women don't even look at marriage the same way. When women talk about marriage, it's a happy occasion. I'm getting married. I got my ring. I got my colors picked out. I got 4 of my fat friends to stand next to me. It's gonna be a beautiful day. No, their dress is ugly. Mine is pretty. But it's not the same for the men. When men talk about marriage with our friends, it sounds like something you get diagnosed with. Did you hear what happened to Charles? No, what? He's getting married. No! I just seen him last week. When did he find out?
Anyway, just want to impart a little bit of wisdom on you guys today. Yoda, go ahead on and like, share, subscribe to my channel. Leave in the comments in the comment section below. Your comments would be greatly appreciated. And like I always say, love you guys millions, and I'll talk to you later. Club.